Okay, so, like, picture this.
No,
You
yeah.
wake up one morning and bam, you're the president of the United States.
Okay.
Sounds pretty exciting, right? But here's the thing. You only get 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
No time for, like, grand gestures.
Right.
No unveiling epic monuments with your face plastered on them.
Huh?
Just one day
Yeah,
to try and leave your mark,
I see.
It really makes you think, what would you even do with that kind of power? Even if it was, like, super fleeting?
That's a great question.
And maybe even more importantly,
Yeah.
how do you make something that seems like totally insignificant actually matter?
Well, it seems like someone's already been pondering that very question.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Stefan, in his book Die Kunst der siebten Bedeutung, Mehr als Worte,
Okay.
he really dives deep into this whole concept of hidden meanings,
Oh.
especially when it comes to, like, crafting stories that really grab you by the collar and are like, hey, pay attention.
Yeah, I get that. Who wants to be just a footnote in history?
Right.
We're talking about, like, creating impact.
Yeah.
Not just, like, collecting dust on a shelf somewhere.
Exactly.
Speaking of footnotes, the book opens with this really fascinating story
Oh,
about David Rice Atchison.
okay.
This guy who was, like, technically
Yeah.
president of the United States for just a single day.
Oh, wow. I've heard of him
Yeah.
talk about a fleeting moment of glory, huh?
Right.
His claim to fame holding the highest office in the land for a mere 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And all because, like, a quirk in the calendar back in 1849.
It's like the ultimate blink and you'll miss its presidency.
And had it.
But that's exactly Stefan's point, right?
Exactly.
Atchison's story, it becomes this, like, almost comical metaphor
Yeah.
for how easily we can just fade into the background. Like, even the most powerful position can become completely meaningless
It can.
if there's no substance behind it.
It's like winning a lifetime supply of toothpaste
Oh, yeah.
and then realizing, oh, you have terrible teeth.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's a cruel joke, but it really speaks volumes about the importance of depth, going beyond just the, like, superficial,
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But how do we avoid becoming the David Rice Atchison of our own lives?
That's the question.
So to speak. I mean, we've all felt that, like, pang of being overlooked.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like you're shouting into this void and no one even hears a whisper.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Well, Stefan's argument is that predictability, it's our downfall.
Okay.
We crave control.
Yeah.
We try to, like, meticulously plan every single step. And in the process, we end up, like, sucking the life out of our own spirit.
Out of our own stories, yeah.
It's like watching a movie.
Okay.
Where you already know exactly what's going to happen next.
Oh, yeah.
Like, where's the thrill in that?
Ugh, tell me about it.
Right.
I've literally stormed out of movie theaters before.
Really?
Because I predicted the ending in, like, the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, where's the element of surprise? Where's the, like, gasp-worthy twist?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where this whole idea of subtle meaning really comes in. It's about layering, about creating depth, about, like, giving your audience something to really chew on long after they've finished reading your words or hearing your story.
So are we talking about, like, planting these little hidden clues? Like a literary Easter egg hunt?
Think of it more like a Trojan horse.
Okay.
You start with something familiar, something that, everyone can relate to. Like
what?
A traffic jam.
Traffic. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's about as exciting as watching paint dry.
Again, I think that's the genius of it.
Really?
Yeah, Stefan uses this seemingly mundane scenario to really illustrate this point.
Okay.
You're stuck in traffic, totally frustrated.
Yeah.
You're feeling the minutes just tick by, and you start to realize, like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This isn't just about being late for dinner.
Right.
This is about a relationship that's going nowhere.
Oh.
About feeling trapped, suffocated.
Wow.
And suddenly, that gridlock, it becomes this powerful metaphor for something much, much deeper.
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
It's like taking something ordinary and, like, twisting it.
Yeah, you twist.
You reveal this whole new dimension.
Exactly.
That totally catches the audience off guard.
You got it.
Yeah, okay.
And the beauty is, this can be applied to anything
Oh.
from like writing a novel to like crafting a captivating social media post.
Really?
Take something as simple as like spilled coffee, for instance.
Oh, man, I got a few stories about spilled coffee.
Uh-huh. I bet you do.
But go on, enlighten me.
So spilled coffee,
Yeah.
on the surface, it could just be like a simple clumsiness, right?
Right, right.
But what if it represents like a moment of carelessness?
Okay.
It has these like far-reaching consequences.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe it symbolizes like a missed opportunity,
Okay.
a turning point in a character's life.
I see.
It all depends on the context.
Yeah.
The subtle meanings that you weave into the narrative.
So it's about, like, making people think,
Yeah.
sparking their curiosity,
Yes.
and then leading them down this path that they
Yeah.
just totally didn't expect.
That's the essence of it.
I like that.
And Stefan argues that this is precisely how, like, those edge-of-your-seat thrillers work.
Oh, okay.
They start with the familiar, something we can all relate to.
Right.
And then, bam!
Yeah.
They pull the rug out from under us with a twist we never saw coming.
It's like setting a trap for your audience,
It is.
but in a good way.
Uh-huh. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it works because
Yeah.
people are hardwired to crave the unexpected.
No, that's so true.
That's what keeps us engaged. It's
Yeah.
what makes us, like, lean in and
Yeah.
say, what's going to happen next?
Okay, I'm starting to feel like I could be the, as Stefan calls it, president of my own show.
I love it.
But I need more ammo.
Oh!
Let's brainstorm some examples.
All right, I'm game.
He talks about a broken mirror,
Okay.
a sudden downpour,
Mm-hmm.
even something as, well,
Yeah.
mundane as a traffic jam.
Right, right.
How can we, like,
Yeah.
inject these with, like, deeper meaning?
Okay, love a good brainstorming session.
Yeah.
All right, let's take the broken mirror.
Okay, broken mirror.
On the surface, it's just bad luck, right?
Right.
What if it represents like a shattered identity
Ooh.
or like a broken promise,
Ooh, I like that.
right?
Yeah. Okay, what about a sudden downpour?
Okay, sudden downpour.
It could be like a symbol of cleansing,
Okay.
like washing away the past.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's
Yeah.
foreshadowing,
Okay.
like an impending emotional storm.
You're getting it.
Uh-huh.
That's what makes this technique so powerful.
Right.
It's not about like
Yeah.
spoon feeding the audience the correct interpretation. It's about giving them enough
Yeah.
to spark their own imaginations,
Right.
to draw their own conclusions.
It's like we're giving them the pieces of a puzzle
It is.
and letting them, like, figure out
Mm-hmm.
the bigger picture.
Exactly. And that sense of discovery, of
Yeah.
like piecing things together,
Yeah.
that's what makes a story truly memorable.
Okay, so we've established that
Yeah.
subtle meaning is, like, the key to creating a truly captivating experience.
It is.
But Stefan also mentions another resource
Oh.
that seems to, like, dive even deeper into this concept.
All right.
A book called Poetry Master.
Poetry Master.
And before you think this is just for poets,
Uh-huh.
let me stop you right there.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's a bit of a misnomer, isn't it?
It is
Yeah.
because Poetry Master is about
Yeah.
so much more
Yeah.
than just like writing poems.
Yeah.
It's about
How-
mastering the art
Okay.
of using words to
Yeah.
create impact, to evoke emotion,
Yeah.
to leave your audience speechless.
Speechless, you say. I like the sound of that. Yeah.
And one of the key concepts he introduces
Mhm.
is this idea of
Yeah.
making the world go silent.
Okay.
It's about like cutting through all the noise,
Mhm.
stripping away all the distractions, and creating a space where your words can truly resonate.
It's like hitting the pause button on life
It is.
so that the audience can truly absorb
Mm,
the weight of what you're saying.
exactly.
I like that.
And it's a skill that can be applied
Yeah.
to any form of communication.
Yeah.
From writing a compelling email
Okay.
to delivering a powerful presentation.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Uh-huh.
It's about
Yeah.
being intentional,
Yeah.
deliberate,
Absolutely.
and making sure every word you utter,
Mm-hmm.
every sentence you craft,
Yeah.
has purpose and impact.
It does.
It's like being the conductor
It
of
is.
your own symphony of words.
You're getting it.
Uh-huh.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
What's
We've
that?
only scratched the surface
Okay, right.
of what Stefan has to offer in Poetry Master.
Well, hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to take a deep dive
Yes.
into the world of Poetry Master
All right.
in part 2 of this episode.
Looking forward to it.
Trust me, You won't want to miss it.
Can't wait. All right, so we've kind of established that subtle meaning is like adding secret sauce to your storytelling. But let's talk about Stefan's book Poetry Master for a minute.
Okay.
Because this is where things get really, really interesting.
Okay, so when I first heard the title, I have to admit, I thought it was a bit niche. Like who needs to master poetry in today's world?
Exactly.
But then I started like digging into it.
Yeah.
And I realized, wait a minute, this is so much more.
It is.
Than just like rhyming couplets and flowery language.
It's so much more than that.
Yeah.
It's about like using language as a weapon, as a tool to like create a visceral impact.
Oh, wow.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
Have you ever been in a conversation where someone said something so profound, so perfectly crafted, that it made the entire room go silent?
Yeah, those moments are rare.
They are.
But they're electric.
They are.
It's like everyone is holding their breath, just waiting for that next word.
Yes, exactly.
Rad.
That's the power Stefan is talking about.
Wow.
And he argues that anyone can achieve it. Whether you're writing a novel, giving a speech, or even just composing a text message.
Wow.
It's about like understanding the nuances of language, the rhythm, the cadence, the power of like a well-placed pause.
Okay, so it's not just about what you say.
Right.
It's how you say it.
Exactly.
It's about wielding words like like a master swordsman, striking at just the right moment to like disarm your opponent, or in this case, your audience.
Exactly.
I like that.
And Poetry Master.
Okay.
It provides the tools to do just that.
Wow.
It's a practical guide to crafting language that resonates, that lingers in the mind, long after you've spoken the words.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
But let's break it down for our listener.
Okay.
Like, what are some of the key takeaways from Poetry Master that they can start applying in their own lives?
Right.
I mean, we're not all trying to win poetry slams here.
No, of course not.
Right.
But we are all trying to communicate effectively, to make our voices heard, to connect with others on a deeper level.
I like that.
And that's where Poetry Master comes in.
Okay.
One of the core concepts Stefan emphasizes is the power of simplicity. He talks about like stripping away all the unnecessary fluff, all the jargon, all the filler words that just clutter our communication.
It's like decluttering your language.
Yes.
Getting rid of all the junk.
Exactly.
That's weighing it down.
And by doing so, you create space for your message to breathe.
For your words to truly resonate.
I like that.
He encourages us to choose our words carefully, to use language that is evocative, precise, and impactful.
So it's about being intentional with every syllable. It's making each word earn its place in the sentence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's about like understanding the rhythm of language, the way certain words and phrases flow together to create a sense of momentum, a sense of urgency, or even like a sense of calm.
It's like composing music with words.
It is. You've got to hit the right notes, the right tempo to create a melody that really moves the listener.
I like that a lot.
And this is where Stefan's concept of making the world go silent really shines.
Yeah.
It's about crafting language that is so captivating, so thought-provoking.
That it silences the noise in the listener's mind.
Wow.
It's about creating a space for true connection where words carry weight and meaning resonates on a deeper level.
And I imagine achieving that level of mastery.
Right.
It takes practice, right?
Of course, yeah.
Like a lot of practice.
Like any skill.
Yeah.
It requires dedication and a willingness to experiment, to try new things, to push the boundaries of what you thought was possible with language.
I like that, pushing the boundary.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to feel a bit more empowered here.
Good.
But let's get practical.
Okay.
How can our listener start implementing these ideas in their own lives?
Right.
I mean, we're not all Shakespeare.
No, we're not.
Right.
But we can all learn from the masters.
Okay.
And Steph, he provides some like really practical exercises in Poetry Master that can help you develop your own unique voice and style.
I like that.
One of the most powerful exercises is simply paying attention to the world around you.
To the world around you, okay.
Start noticing the way people speak, the way they use language, the words they choose, the pauses they take.
It's like becoming a student of language.
Yes.
Observing how it's used in its natural habitat.
Exactly. And as you start to pay attention, you'll begin to notice patterns.
Okay.
We'll start to see the subtle ways in which language is used to persuade, to inform, to entertain, and even to manipulate.
It's like becoming a language detective.
Yes.
Uncovering the secrets.
Exactly.
Hidden beneath the surface.
And as you become more attuned to the nuances of language, you can start to experiment with your own style.
With your own style, okay.
Try writing a poem. Even if it's just like a few lines, experiment with different sentence structures, different rhythms, different ways of expressing your thoughts and feelings.
It's like playing with words.
It is seeing what shapes they can take, what sounds they can make.
Yeah, I like that.
And the more you play, the more confident you'll become in your ability to wield language effectively.
Okay, so we talked about the power of simplicity.
Yeah.
The importance of rhythm and cadence and the concept of making the world go silent.
Right.
But there's one more key takeaway.
Oh.
From Poetry Master.
Okay.
That I think is absolutely essential.
Okay, I'm listening. What is it?
Vulnerability.
Oh, yes. The dreaded V word. But it's so crucial, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Stevin argues that the most powerful communication, it comes from a place of authenticity. Yeah. From a willingness to share our true selves.
Right.
Even like the messy, imperfect parts.
The messy parts, yeah. It's about letting go of the need to be perfect, to be polished, to have all the answers. It's about being brave enough to show up as we are, flaws and all.
And I think that's particularly challenging
it is.
In today's world where like everyone is trying to present this curated, airbrushed version of themselves.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, it is.
But it's also like incredibly isolating.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, because when we hide our true selves, we miss out on the opportunity to connect with others on a deeper level.
So it's about dropping the facade, taking off the mask,
Mm-hmm.
and letting people see the real you.
The real you?
Even if it's all, like, a bit scary.
Even if it's scary, exactly. Yeah. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
When we're vulnerable, when we're authentic,
yeah,
it gives other people permission to do the same.
To do the same.
It creates a space for genuine connection.
Yeah.
For empathy. For understanding.
So it's like saying, hey, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And you don't have to be perfect either.
Exactly.
And in a world that's like obsessed with perfection, that message is incredibly powerful.
So powerful.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on something.
Okay.
Throughout Poetry Master.
Yeah.
Stephen uses some like pretty bold language.
He does. He does.
Yeah, he talks about like breaking minds, slamming legends, making the world go silent. It's not exactly, you know, your typical self-help jargon.
No, it's definitely not your typical, like, kumbaya kind of language, whatever. But I think that's intentional.
You do.
Yeah, I think he's trying to, like, shake things up, to challenge the status quo, to empower people, to use language as a force for change.
It's like he's saying, don't be afraid to make a statement, to stand out from the crowd, to use your voice, to create something truly impactful.
And I think there's a real need for that kind of boldness in today's world where we're constantly bombarded with information, with noise. It's so easy to feel like our voices don't matter.
So how do we break through that noise?
That's the question.
How do we ensure that our message, our story, our unique perspective, it's heard?
It's about being authentic.
Okay.
It's about speaking from the heart.
Yeah.
It's about sharing our truth in a way that resonates
with others.
I like that.
And it's also about being willing to take risks.
Okay.
To push the boundaries.
Yeah.
To experiment with new ways of expressing ourselves.
I love how you phrase that.
Oh, thanks.
Experiment with new ways of expressing ourselves. It's like we're all artists in a way.
We are.
And the world is our canvas.
It is.
We have so many tools.
We do.
At our disposal, right?
Right.
Words, images, sounds,
yeah.
movements, and the possibilities for creative expression
They
are truly limitless.
Limitless.
And that's where the fun comes in.
That's where the fun is.
Yeah.
It's about playing with those tools, exploring different mediums, discovering what sparks our creativity and brings us joy.
All right, so let's talk practicality for a moment.
Okay.
Let's say our listener is ready to embrace this concept of poetry master.
Right.
To inject it.
Into their writing.
Ah, okay.
Their conversations.
Yeah.
Even their everyday observations. Where does they start?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think the first step
Yeah.
is to cultivate a sense of curiosity.
Okay, curiosity.
Start paying attention to the details.
Okay.
The seemingly insignificant things that we often overlook.
Okay. Like,
wait.
that spilled coffee.
Okay.
The broken mirror. The sudden downpour.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look for the symbolism, the metaphors, the hidden meanings that might be lurking beneath the surface.
Almost like we're becoming detectives.
Yes.
Right.
We are.
Searching for clues, piecing together the puzzle of our own lives and the world around us.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
And as we start to see the world through this lens, we begin to notice the interconnectedness of everything.
Oh, wow.
We see how a seemingly random event can trigger like a chain reaction.
Okay.
How our actions can have unintended consequences.
Right.
And how even the smallest gestures can create a ripple effect.
A ripple effect, yeah.
That extends far beyond ourselves.
It's both humbling and empowering, isn't it?
It is to realize that we're all part of something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
That we have the ability to influence the world around us, even in subtle ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And as we start to embrace
Yeah.
this concept of poetry master, our lives become like richer.
Richer, yes.
More nuanced.
More nuanced, yeah.
More meaningful.
More meaningful, exactly.
It's like we're adding layers of depth
to
our experience, you know.
I know exactly what you mean.
Enriching the tapestry of our lives.
Yeah.
With like intricate patterns and hidden gems.
And who knows what we might discover along the way, right?
Right.
What hidden talents we might unearth.
Yeah.
What unexpected connections we might make.
It's an exciting journey, that's for sure.
It is an exciting journey.
And as we continue to explore this concept of poetry master, I think it's important to remember that it's not about being perfect or having all the answers.
Yeah.
It's about
being
open to new possibilities.
Absolutely.
Being willing to experiment and most importantly, being kind to ourselves along the way.
Being kind to ourselves, yes.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, we're all going to make mistakes. We're going to stumble. We're going to fall. And that's okay.
That's okay.
It's all part of the learning process.
Yeah. And sometimes those mistakes, they lead to the most unexpected discoveries.
Yeah.
The most beautiful creations.
Beautiful creations.
It's like that saying, there are no mistakes, only happy accidents.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah. It reminds us that the journey is just as important as the destination.
Yeah.
And that sometimes the greatest rewards come from embracing the unexpected.
Okay, so we've talked about the power of poetry master, the importance of curiosity, and the beauty of embracing imperfection.
Yeah.
But there's one more thing I want to touch on before we wrap up this deep dive.
Right. Intention.
Intention.
Okay.
It's a word that keeps coming up for me as we've been talking.
I see where you're going with this. Yeah. It's not enough to just like sprinkle in some fancy words or poetic phrases.
Right.
It's about being intentional with our choices, about understanding the impact we want to create.
Exactly. It's about asking ourselves, why am I sharing this story?
Right.
What message do I want to convey?
Yeah.
What feeling do I want to evoke?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's about like being mindful of our audience.
Okay.
About considering their perspective,
Yeah.
their experiences, and their values.
Because at the end of the day,
Right.
communication is all about connection.
It is. It is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's about building bridges, fostering understanding, creating a shared experience that resonates with both the speaker and the listener.
So as we move forward in our own
Yeah.
creative journeys, let's remember to be intentional with our words, our actions, and our choices.
Our choices, yeah.
Let's strive to create work that is not only meaningful,
right.
but also impactful.
And impactful.
Work that leaves
Yeah.
a lasting impression.
A lasting impression.
On the world.
And let's not be afraid to experiment,
Right.
to take risks, and to embrace the unexpected.
Because who knows what we might discover
Who knows?
along the way.
The possibilities are endless.
Okay, so tell me, what are some specific ways our listeners can apply this concept of intentionality in their own lives?
Right.
What are some practical tips they can take away from this deep dive?
I'm glad you asked. I think one of the most important things is to start with a clear purpose.
Okay, clear purpose.
Before you write a word, give a presentation, or even start a conversation. Take a moment to ask yourself, what do I want to achieve with this communication?
It's like setting an intention.
Yes, it is.
For the interaction. Establishing a clear goal that guides our choices.
That guides our choices, exactly.
Yeah.
And once you have that purpose in mind, you can start to think about the best way to achieve it.
The best way to achieve it,
What kind of language will resonate with your audience? What stories will capture their attention? What images will evoke the desired emotions?
It's almost like we're becoming architects.
Yes.
Carefully designing the structure of our communication. To ensure that it's both aesthetically pleasing and structurally sound.
I love that analogy. And as we become more skilled in the art of communication, we can start to experiment with different styles, different techniques, different approaches. We can play with metaphor, symbolism, and even humor to create a truly engaging and memorable experience for our audience.
And that brings us to the importance of feedback.
Oh, yes. Feedback.
It's so easy to, get caught up in our own heads. To assume that our message is clear and our intentions are obvious.
Well, right.
But the reality is, communication is a two-way street.
It is a two-way street.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to be willing to listen to our audience, to seek out their feedback, and to adjust our approach as needed.
Because sometimes the most valuable insights come from the people we're trying to reach.
The people we're trying to reach, exactly. And by being open to feedback, we not only improve our communication skills, but also strengthen our relationships and build a sense of trust with our audience.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but I feel like we're just scratching the surface.
Absolutely. This is just the beginning.
Before we get too carried away, though, I want to make sure we've, distilled the key takeaways for our listener.
Okay.
So tell me.
Yeah. What are the biggest things you want them to walk away with from this deep dive?
Okay, so we've journeyed through the land of subtle meanings, brainstormed metaphors, and even dabbled in the art of making the world go silent.
Right.
But as with any good adventure, it's time to gather around the campfire and reflect on what we've learned.
I like the campfire analogy.
Yeah.
It's a fitting image for the kind of intimate connection that Stefan's work inspires.
Right.
Stripping away all the noise and distractions.
Just sharing raw, authentic stories under the open sky.
And maybe roasting some marshmallows while we're at it. Because let's face it, even the most profound insights can benefit from a little bit of sweetness.
Agreed, but let's not forget the fuel for that fire.
Okay.
The essence of what makes Stefan's approach so captivating. It's that underlying message of empowerment.
Okay.
That belief that we all have the potential to create something truly remarkable with our words.
And we're not talking about like some magical formula, right?
Yeah,
no, this isn't like a get-rich-quick scheme for writers.
It's about like cultivating a mindset, an approach to communication that's thoughtful, deliberate, and impactful.
And that brings us back to our President for a Day challenge.
Right. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Like, what seemingly insignificant action could a president take that would have this like ripple effect far beyond that 24-hour time frame?
That's a brilliant question.
Yeah.
And it really underscores the power of subtle meaning.
Right.
It's not about like grand gestures or like sweeping policy changes. It's about those seemingly small choices that can shift perspectives and inspire action.
Okay, so let's put on our President for a Day hats.
Okay.
and brainstorm.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm picturing like the Oval Office, the weight of the world on my shoulders, and the clock ticking relentlessly. What seemingly insignificant action am I taking?
Let's think outside the box here. Instead of like
signing a bill or issuing an executive order. Imagine the president spending the entire day simply listening to the stories of ordinary people.
Wow, that's powerful.
Right.
No cameras, no press conferences. It's just like genuine human connection.
Exactly. Imagine the president sitting down with teachers, nurses, factory workers, veterans, hearing their hopes, their struggles, their dreams, and then imagine that same president sharing those stories with the nation.
Oh, wow.
Not in like a polished speech, but in a like raw, unfiltered way that captures the essence of human experience.
It's like a direct line.
It is.
From the heart of America to the halls of power, bypassing all the noise and political posturing.
Exactly. And while it might seem insignificant,
on the surface, the act of truly listening, of amplifying the voices of the unheard, could have a profound impact on the way we view ourselves, our communities, and our nation.
It's a reminder that real power lies in empathy. In understanding and connecting with one another on a human level.
On a human level. And it all starts with that willingness to listen. To pay attention. To find the meaning hidden beneath the surface.
And to like inject a little bit of poetry mass into our everyday lives.
Absolutely, because whether we're crafting a tweet, writing a novel, or simply having a conversation with a friend, the principles of Poetry Master can help us communicate with more intention, more clarity, and more impact.
So, dear listener, as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of subtle meanings and unexpected twists, I encourage you to embrace your inner poetry master.
Your inner poetry master. I love it.
Experiment with language. Play with metaphors. And don't be afraid to make the world go silent.
Make it go silent.
With the power of your word.
The power of your words, exactly.
And remember, you don't need to be president for a day.
No, you don't.
To make a difference.
You can create a ripple effect just by being present. By being intentional and by sharing your unique voice with the world.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
The pleasure was all mine.
Exploring these ideas with you today. And as Stefan would say,
be creative.
Stay curious. Keep those unexpected meanings flowing.
Keep them flowing.
Keep it real, listener.
Keep it real.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.